So today we'll continue the routing, that is the private routing, and also we'll do the JavaScript problem. These two things we'll do. So let's define the private one, which I talked about yesterday. Yesterday we did the layout, these three layout we did. Today we'll do kind of private route where limited users are only accessible. So for that, I'll write down the steps and then I'll show you how we do it. So let me write down the steps for the private routing. So we need one variable, maybe called as authenticated variable, and we should have the value of true or false, something that user is logged in or user is not logged in. So we should have value kind of true or false. So this will come from the local storage or cookie or wherever we let the user log in to our web page. So we should have that variable from that part of the application. So we need that variable. Next will be, like we created the layout route, we will be creating another route called as private route. It will be similar to layout route. The only difference will be I will check if user is authenticated. I will call the component which I want to show him, and if user is not authenticated, that is, he is logged in, he is not logged out. If user is not authenticated, then I will redirect user to login page. So the difference is in layout route we were not using this kind of differentiation. We were only using the component part, and we will displaying that component part. But here in this case, we will route it to maybe called as we'll write the code to differentiate whether user is logged in or whether user is not logged in. So we'll see how to write the redirect part in this component. And then in the app.js, previously I was calling layout route. Now I will call the private route. And the thing will be different will be I will pass the auth flag. Okay, this auth flag will be passed, that whether user is logged in or not logged in. If user is logged in, we will show component as per this logic. So let's do this one. So this is the idea. This is the step 2. First is passing authenticated variable. Second is to create the private route with this differentiation of the logic. And third will be to add the things in app.js. So let's start working on it. So similarly, I created the layout folder. I will, let's say, create a new folder. Maybe I can say private route, or we can say, okay, I'll not create this private route. I will, in the layout only, I will create a new file called as private route.jsx, and let's change to constant private route equal to, and I'll use arrow function. So this is my private route, which I will fill shortly. Okay, so I created this private route. I will massage this private route page in a bit, and then in the app.js, I have to call this private route from components layouts, and I will call private route. So I will copy this private route and I will create, similarly I created this layout route. I'll be creating the private route. So let's say I create two routes, one with user is so one will be, here I will say authenticated is authenticated equal to true. So I will call that the user is logged in. One second. So here I can pass true or false. If user is logged in, I will pass true, and if user is not logged in, I'll pass the false. Right now I don't have the login mechanism, so right now I'll hard-codedly pass true or false in this private route. So, and I will call this admin page. So let's create one admin page where only logged in user is allowed and not logged in users are not allowed. I can pass the layout also if I want to display layout also in this route. So I will say false. Then if it is false, it will not allow me to access this private route. But if I pass this as a true, that means the user is logged in, then it will allow me to access this page. And if user is not logged in, uh, if user is not logged in and try to access this admin page, I will redirect the user to the login page. So let's build the login page also. Maybe I can simply call this login page. I'll copy this and I'll create another one for the login page. So here I'll say login, and here I'll say just login please. So this will be the real login page in reality, but right now I'm just displaying the text of login part when user goes to login page, and I'm passing the component. Let's say I will create a component called as admin, and I'll pass this admin in the private route, and the path will be the admin, exact will be there, layout will be the main layout, and is authenticated will be true or false. So I will change it to false to show you that the user is not allowed to access this admin path. And now if I put it true, I will show you that user is allowed to access this path, access this private route. Now let's build the private route and see what we can do. So in the private route, like we did in the layout, we will copy that same thing. So we will pass the props here first, and here I will create constant equal to props. I will be doing destructuring of the props. So one thing I need is a component, and I will rename the component to capital component as I explained you yesterday. Second will be is authenticated. So the variable which I pass is this is authenticated. I need that variable. I will also try to get the layout, and I'll rename this to layout, and the rest will go as dot rest. So this is what we get it from the props. Okay, so why I'm getting the error? Okay, never read. Okay, so this is the first part. We get all the variables from the app.js. Now we will write down this part here. So okay, so here I had to write the route part. So let's open the layout route and try to copy something from layout route. So like I want this route part here. I'll go to the private route. I'll get the route part here, and then I'll also get this route from the layout route, and I'll put it here. So route will be having the rest parameter which I'm getting from here. It will also having the layout which I'm getting the layout here, and it will be having the component which I am getting from here. So this is something similar to the layout route. Now we have to put the logic whether user is logged in or not logged in. If the user is logged in, we have to change this part somehow, and if the user is logged in, then this part is fine. So okay, let's go here in the route render props. Okay, here we have to do something. So to redirect user to another page, we need one more parameter here that is called redirect. So redirect will help us to redirect user to some other page. And now what I will do, I will here check if is authenticated. If user is authenticated, then I will return this part. This part is correct. If user is authenticated, so I will put it in the curly braces. So in the render part, I am saying if user is authenticated, then show this layout, whatever we want to show. And if user is not authenticated, is so if user is not authenticated, then I have to use this redirect component. So I will say redirect return redirect like this. Now here redirect, we have to tell where I have to redirect to. So I will say to equal to. Now redirect takes a couple of things inside it. One is I have to create an object inside this redirect to, and here I will say path name. So where I have to redirect to. So I will say I want to redirect to login page. Right now I'll just pass this one and see how it goes. So what I did, I'll just refresh the things. I get the component from the previous page. I get the authenticate variable. I get the layout, which I renamed to this layout. I get the rest parameter. I created the route with all the rest parameter and render. In the render, I check if user is authenticated. I call this return to the as usual. That means if user is logged in, I allow him to show the page. But if user is not logged in, that means it's not authenticated. I redirect it to the login page. Okay, so this is what I build it. Now let's run it and see if okay, now one thing is missing. I defined this admin, but I did not create the admin component. So let's create the admin component. Maybe I create in the pages, I will create a new file called as admin.jsx. And here I'll say RF. So here I'll just say admin page only logged in users are allowed. So I'll save this, close this page, call this page here admin. Okay, so I call this page here. So admin is now correct. Now let's check it if I'm getting correct or not. So first I'll refresh. Okay, maybe localhost. Okay, I have to restart the server. So I'm in the terminal. I'm restarting. Okay, so till it restart, let's refresh what we did. We created the private route, which is similar to layout route. The only difference is that I passed the is authenticated flag true or false. If it is true, that means user is logged in, and if user is logged in, I will allow the user to see the admin page. And if is authenticated is false, that means user is not logged in. That means I will not allow the user to go to the admin page. And if I go to private route, I will check in the render method if user is authenticated. I allow him to see the component layout and component. And if user is not authenticated, I just redirect it to another page. So till it restart, I will also tell you what another parameter I am passing. So I will also pass some variable, for example, state equal to from props.location. So now what is this? This is something variable which is created by my mind. This is, you can change the name, this also. You can remove this curly bracket and only put the state. It depends on you, whatever you want. So here I'm saying state, there is some name I gave it to it, state, and then I say from, that means from which page I'm coming. You can change this to X, you can change it to Y. Okay, whatever you want, you can name it. And then I am passing the props.location. Props.location will tell from where I am coming. So since I am calling this in admin page, so it will tell me in the login page that I am coming from which place. So this is something we know that user has come from admin page. So after login, I can send the user back to admin page. So if user is coming from restricted something from, let's say, record page. So after login, we have to send him to the record page. This only field is needed to send user back to from where he is coming. So that's the need. I put this part here. We'll check this part in a bit, how it looks like in the browser. Let's refresh this now. Okay, so we are in the about page. Okay, I did not put the admin part here. Let's put the admin part in the navigation so it is easy for us to navigate from one page to another page. So in the navigation, I will add one link. So here I will say admin and I'll send the user to admin. So this is the one I changed in the navigation part. Okay, now let's see. So we have admin home. This page is there. Okay, so if I go to admin page, so I am able to go to admin page. The reason is that I passed the authenticated flag true. So I'm able to access the admin page. Now let's change the authentication flag to false so that we should not allow user to go to this page. So if I go to app.js, I will make it false. Now if I refresh the page, so you will see I did not put any layout in the login, so just the login please. So we are going to the login page here. Let's see what are the props in the login page. So I go to the login page. Okay, so let's go to this login part and let's see what are the props coming. Okay, so let's see. So in the logs, in the props, we will see that history is coming, location is coming, match is coming. Let's open the location. In the location, you will see the state. This is the same variable which I created in the private routes, like this one. This is the same variable which I created here, state, from, and props.location. So I can see in the state we have the from, and in the from we have the path name of admin. That means the user is coming from the admin. So once the user fills the login field, login form, and if he successfully complete the login part, we can send the user back to this admin page. That's the reason I created this variable. See, it is coming under the location, and the variable state and from are the created by me. So you can change it to X to Y, whatever name you want to give, you can give. It's immaterial for this, but only remember that in the from we are getting this path name that is called the admin, and this is the where we will send the user back after user is logged in. So that's all about we do in the private routing in React. So if you have question in private routing, or you can ask me, otherwise we'll go to another part. Okay, so maybe you can go through. Okay, I'll try to speak little louder because some of you are not able to hear me properly. So you can go through it and see if you have some problem in achieving this, and if you have any problem, just let me know. And instead of props or location here, I can also put this location part here, like I have taken it here. So I can also get it from here, and here I'll just pass the location. So let's test it now, this one. I will go to admin and I'm going to log in, and still I'm able to see the same thing. So now I'm done with this React private login. Tomorrow I'll start about the Redux. Tomorrow we will go do Redux in the React. Redux part will start tomorrow. And also I will start one more thing. So tomorrow we'll start Redux, and I will also start the concepts of object-oriented JavaScript, these two things, and also we'll do the problems. Every day we'll do some problems also, and I'll also start the concept of object-oriented JavaScript and problems. So these three things will start from tomorrow, and in few days I will also add Node.js part. So 4 things we'll do, some 5-10 minutes this, 5-10 minutes this, 5-10 minutes this, 5-10 minutes this. Okay, so we will start these 4 things every day. Okay, now let's go to the problem which yesterday we were doing and see what we can do today for that problem. So yesterday we were doing the reverse string problem, and we will do that problem again in a different way. So this is the one reverse string which we were doing. So today we'll do reverse string but in a different way. So before going to that, another method 2, we'll be using method 2. Before going to method 2 of the reverse string, let's try to see how we loop the strings. So if I create variable string equal to cat, then if I say str of 0, it will give me C. So the first part is C. And if I'm saying str of 1, I'm getting A. So if I want to loop through all this, I can use the for loop and I can access each variable with 0, 1, and 2. So this is where I can access all the 3 characters of the string using the 0, 1, 2 variable, array variable kind of thing. This is string, but we can access it in an array format, and we can access each character by using its letter 0, 1, or 2. Now, let's say if I want to reverse this cat, what I will do, I will take the first character, that is the 0th element, and I will write down that element here, C. And then I'll take that another element and I'll put it before C. And then I'll take the third element Recording is already started. I have not stopped the recording. So JavaScript and both the things are recorded in the same video. So now for the cat also, for the T, what I'll do, I'll take the T, third character, and I'll put before A. So in fact, it is reversed now. So it was cat, now it is TAC. So what I did, yesterday what we did, we used the JavaScript inbuilt function to convert this to array, and after array we reverse it and we return it by joining the array in the reverse string. Now what we will do today, we will take the string, we will go one by one, and we will attach to new string and we will put it before the first string. So we will not put CAT, but we will put C and we will put A before C and we will put T before A. So this is how we will achieve our goal to reverse the string. So let's write down the function today. Function reverse string str. So we are passing the string. Now here I will create a new variable which I will return it. So this is my new variable, maybe called as return new str. So I am here returning my new string with reverse of str. And what will be the step 1? Step 1 will be initialization of the variable. Create a new variable. And what will be the step 2? Loop through str variable, that is this variable, and put each character before the previous character. So here we will be taking each character of the string and putting before the previous character. So let's create the new variable. I will say let new string is equal to empty string. Now I will loop through. For looping I need for loop. I will say let I equal to 0, initial value of the I will say I less than str dot length. So if it has 3 character, it should go to 3 times. If it has 4 character, it should go to 4 times. If you don't know the for loop, we will go that also sometime in future, but I assume that everyone knows for loop. And I will say I plus plus. So what I'm doing, putting initial value, putting the final one, that is it should be less than the string length. A string length, if I pass cat, it is 3. So it will go from 0 to the 3 character, that is 3 minus 1, that is 2 characters, 0, 1 and 2, and every time I will increase the I plus plus. Now every time what I'll do, whenever I loop it, I will say new str, the value of new str is equal to string of I. So I showed you 0, 1, 2, I have to take the 0, 1, 2. plus new str. So when I'm passing the cat, when it will run the first time, I will get the C, and C will go to the, so this is empty string. Let's see what will happen in the first case. So in the first case, this is empty, and I will attach the C. So the string will be C here. And when the loop goes second time, C is already in the new str, and I am putting stri before this new string. So this new string is there. I am attaching stri before new string, so it will become A and C. And what will happen when it will go third time? So these two are already in the new string, and I am getting the third value, that is C. I will attach before new string, so it will be TAC in the third loop. And then once I am done with all the loops, I will return the newStr. So let's now enter it and see how it works. Okay, so I entered it. Now we'll see reverse string of cat. So it is showing TAC. So it is similar, the output is similar of what we did yesterday. The difference is we are using a different way to look through the string and get the result. Now let's put this in this here. So let's put this problem, and I will enter it. Also, let me create the JavaScript file so that we have a record of what we did. So let's create the reverse string 2.js. I will just rename this JS. New file will be reverse string.js, and I will be putting this function here. And also I will put the example here how we called it. Okay, so this one is the result. We call it reverse string. Let's put in the first one also. Okay, so this is second actually. And first one I'll copy from the yesterday's readme file. So you can get this also if you do the git pull. I will commit it. You can do the git pull. Okay, so this is the first way yesterday which we did, and this is the second way which we did today, which we did today. So these are the two different ways of doing the same problem. So it's not about that we are doing this problem again. It's only the concept which I want to show you that how we are doing this. And this concept will be used in many of the problems in JavaScript. So once we understand that we get a string, that means we have to think that we can go through each character of the string and then manipulate that to another way, whatever I want to manipulate, however I want to manipulate it. So this is the concept which we are using. And in the first case, we use the concept of using the JavaScript functions, reverse and split. So only thing, though it's an easy problem, we did to understand the some concepts of how we achieved it. So when you go for interview, then you will not get the same problem, but you will get similar kind of concepts to apply in that problem. So you have to think that whether I can apply this concept, or whether I can apply this concept, or whether I can apply the new concept which we will learn in future classes. That's the purpose of doing this exercise. Because whenever you go for interview, you will never get the problem which you have done in the practice. You will always get something new problem. So you have to think that which problem which you have done in the past, which is similar to the one which the person is asking. So you have to link that, okay, I can achieve this with this method or this method or that method. That's the idea of doing so many problems. Like in mathematics, we do the Pythagoras theorem, but in exam, the numbers are different, problem is different, but we know how to do the Pythagoras theorem. Similarly, in JavaScript, we need to understand different techniques, but when you go for interview, you have to try to think which one is applicable to the current question which user is asking, which a person is asking. Okay, so tomorrow we will do the Redux part in the tomorrow we'll do the Redux part and concept of object-oriented JavaScript. Also we will start, and also we'll start the problems. Node.js I will not start tomorrow. I'll start after few days. Okay, so do you have any questions for today's class?